So we open and these heifers is still upset about Cynthia's game yesterday. I could just never say who was the prettiest. Because it ain't you. So Cynthia is bemoaning to Luann how mad she is at Kenya that, she did all this support for Kenya, made sure she was comfortable, did a whole PowerPoint presentation on the plane to get her the master suite, and she can't even show up on time to dinner and eat with everybody. But you knew Kenya was a butt. The next morning, things are still tense between Kyle and Cynthia. Kyle apologizes again, but I'm kind of like, girl, she need to get over it. She mad at Kenya, not you. Cynthia, you still ain't gonna accept this girl's apology, and you said, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Well, she said the prettiest made her feel uncomfortable, so let her be in her feelings. It's supposed to be a fun game. Girl. Kyle gonna get a little Badinsky. Were you upset with Kenya last night? That's a Cynthia Kenya conversation. We're good. We're good. She's like, look, whatever happens on Raw, we gonna keep that in-house. Loyalty. Teresa's twat should be a twitching. Loyalty, family. Heffermore, your court is not on YouTube. It's on Zoom, and it's a public proceeding. So yes, anyone could see. My goodness, it's on YouTube. They ain't monetizing that crap. So Kenya comes down from her court hearing and she's discombobulated. And Cynthia's like, well, shoot, you couldn't come down last time and get some support when I was gonna offer it to you. I ain't got nothing for you now, heifer. Girl, all these TikTokers and Carnival Cruise commercials and Royal Caribbean commercials trying to get me back on a boat. A yacht, yes. A cruise ship, no. New variants coming out, and you remember them stories of them people being trapped out at sea? For weeks? I think the fuck not. I wish the fuck I would. Kyle asked her, how long were you married? About 15 minutes. Separated for 3 years, but married and together 15 minutes. Long enough to make Brooklyn. Oh, God. Luann's bringing up Bolo. Now we got a flashback. Luann apparently got a video of him having sex with some cantaloupe until it exploded. I don't know. If I'm gonna watch you fuck a fruit, I'd rather see something a little different. I'm not here for the watermelon ass pussy. That cantaloupe coochie. Nah, I'm good. Luann, you ain't never been uptown if you that surprised at a big penis. Anyway, I ain't even gonna start telling my business. Child, that guy is flirting with you for his tips. He's probably married to a man. So Kenya, Kyle, and Melissa's all together before we play volleyball, and Kenya says, I think Cynthia's mad at me. Are you that self-unaware? Kyle says, well, she mad at the both of us, but she won't admit that she mad at you. Kenya, why you gonna tell them heifers, oh yeah, Cynthia's a little upset that we're so cliquey? No, she's not. She's just like, dang, could you not ignore the one that brung you? You could include me too. You just ran off and put your nose up Kyle's cooch. So Ramona's friend John from the restaurant, one of his friends, gonna help the ladies play volleyball. I thought this was girls' trip, not to catch a coup. Lord, so we having drinks after volleyball and Kyle's hosting the dinner and she gonna bring in an intuitive tarot reader or something. Don't you remember how bad it was when you brought on Alison Dubois? But you gonna soup up another psychic to get on these heifers' nerves. Okay, girl, I see you. So now Cynthia says to Kenya, let me chit and chat with you for a minute. Kenya's like, okay, I knew this was coming. Let me get my cuss out. Cynthia got a point though. Kenya, you at least could have apologized for being late before you made yourself a plate. Kenya gonna say, well, these girls ain't in our circle, so when somebody says they're not uncomfortable with it, Kenya, that's not what the point was. Cynthia wanted support, and Cynthia wanted you to be on time and apologize for being late. Stop putting up the smoke screen. That's her issue with Kyle, not you. Now, Kenya, Cynthia did adapt, but Cynthia, you did get mad when you had to adapt. But you were already pissed at Ken. Kenya, Cynthia's not trying to start a fight. You're just not hearing her. I don't think Cynthia is jealous that she's not vibing with the women. I think you're just not being supportive. I'm with Sin on this one. But it is nice to see you take your ass off your shoulders. So we all sit down to lunch after Kenya and Cynthia have their tete-a-tete. Cynthia's like, at least I got what I needed to off my chest. Kenya may not have heard it, but at least I said it. Luann asked Romomo, so when are you going to make the move on John? Oh, I'm just everything in its time. I'm not in a rush for anything. Girl, please. You gonna tip out and see him tonight the second cameras are down. Ha ha! Girl. When Luann told Ramona, well, maybe he likes the 20-somethings. Ooh. And Kenya gonna say, and maybe he likes little chocolate. Luann said, there you go. Ramona said, Kenya, you can't even keep your husband. You are the last woman in the world I'm worrying about. You weren't even married for a hot second. I was married for 20 plus years. I mean, when you're right, you're right. So now Cynthia says, Teresa, Melissa, let's get this straight. Teresa, did you or did you not know that Melissa was coming on the show? And Melissa said she knew. Teresa says she didn't know. Melissa's like, no. Andy DM'd me, and Andy called you and said, we're interviewing your sister-in-law. Melissa said, I didn't message you because we weren't speaking. Don't you lie to these people. Don't you lie to these people. Don't you get on camera and act new. Kyle is just like, sister fights. That takes me back. She looks wistful. Melissa's story does make the most sense. They did want sister-in-laws, and that was like the group that they really went for when they started Jersey. So I gotta agree with that. It was all about the family. I'm sorry, Ramona. I would have shouted at you too. Like Melissa said 18 times, I didn't contact Teresa because we weren't speaking. She wasn't even talking to her brother, AKA my husband. So why would I send her a text? We weren't speaking. What's not clicking? What's not clicking? What's not clicking? Yeah. Child, the way Michael hugged her, sissy. It's dinner time, and now we've headed to another beautiful home to dine and argue. Child, the guy that ran the house was not having it with Ramona. He's like, okay, I'll take these pictures, but you know I'm not the photographer, right? Kenya said, girl, I was about to get her ass. He is not the help. Oh my God, oh my God. Melissa said the psychic looked like Cruella de Vil. And she said the cartoon, but I think she meant the family movie because Glenn Close did a really pretty Cruella. Emma Thompson just did a pretty Cruella. So there are examples of pretty Cruella de Vils, but not that cartoon. Or maybe some budget cartoon that we ain't saw, but not that Disney version because she was a hot-ass Phyllis Diller mess. Kyle was apparently a man in most of her past lives. Okay. Kenya is supposed to be a shaman in this life? Kenya Moore? I'll call you tomorrow, girl. Kenya wanted to throw her a little shade about that shaman comment with that no. So she said, well, you know, let me tell you about your mama. Now, your mama's stuck in a past life because she didn't pull this before. She had a baby by the king, but it was out of wedlock, kind of like your situation, so she had to ignore it. That's why she's doing the same thing to you. Okay, it got real raw, real quick. Life came at her fast. All these heifers were supposed royalty in past lives. Nobody was just, you know, a school teacher, the costumer, the dry cleaner on 23rd. This heifer did not have on Tangina's necklace from Poltergeist 3 when she handed it to Carol Ann's mama and stepmama and said, outside is. It is the same necklace. I know my jury. So all talk turns to beauty pageants, and Luann talked about her pageant experience. Then Cynthia tries to say, oh, I was a judge for Miss Universe, and it just keeps her out of the conversation. It's like, girl, Cynthia's right. You icing her out. Cynthia just ain't Kenya's friend. She ain't nobody's friend. Well, child, that was the shit. They get back. Cynthia's like, look, I'm going to go on to bed. I'm a little irritated. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow morning. All right, well, that was the shit. So I'm going to see you soon for something.